So, first things first. You're probably here because you just simply cannot update your BIOS. So, let me get started with saying that Asus makes good motherboards. I have had this one for over 5 years and it has not caused any issues that I can see. But the one big issue is that it's very hard to get the right BIOS update because of this right here. So if we go to support here and we go to driver and tools and we go to, let's say we have Windows 7, which is what I have. So then we go to BIOS. All these right here, for me at least, are not right. So what has happened is that for some reason these are .cap files, and for some reason they have put this in here as being listed as the right motherboard, which it's not. So one thing I want to point out is that a lot of people get an error when they're trying to flash their motherboard for the BIOS update. They go into their BIOS flash and they don't notice the file in their flash drive. And in an easy flash program, it's supposed to show up if it's the right file. Well, here's your problem. For one, it's probably not a .cap file. It's probably a ROM file. So what you want to do is you want to find an actual ROM file. There's also, let's see, I looked this up before and I was having the hardest time trying to find it. There's so many different types of motherboards. They got different like model numbers and all sorts of different things. And the problem is that none of these files are right. When I was going into this is the motherboard that I have. But see, up here it says that model number, and then down here it says this one. This is the actual one that I have, not this one. So you go to driver and tools yet again. Then it takes forever to load because I don't know, their whole website's been weird lately. And then you go to here. This right here is not the right one. None of these are the right ones. And let me explain to you. So, when you get into all this and you start downloading the ROM files, the ones that actually show up, you would think that these would be the right ones. So, you'll get this. Image integrity check failed. Which means basically it's the wrong file and you're not going to be able to update it with that file. So instead of trying 30 different files, which I tried until I got the right one, I searched hours upon hours and I finally found that Softpedia has all the drivers in the correct orders and for the correct motherboard. So what I did was I downloaded the highest version, the newest version, and it actually worked. I'm not sure why Asus has this issue. I'm sure a lot of people have had this issue. So yeah, this is one way to fix it. If you're upgrading your CPU, this is where you always want to start, because it's most likely a lot of people are going to get a used CPU and instantly think that the processor is bad. No, you need to upgrade your BIOS version as soon as you can. As for that, well, this is the fix. And another thing, guys, is I got my processor from M&D discounts on Amazon. They were absolutely amazing with helping me through everything that I did with the installation, with all the issues that I was experiencing. And the first thing that I thought, which I kind of felt bad for, was thinking that the processor was bad, and that had nothing to do with it. The processor was absolutely flawless. Like, there was like no scratches on it, no nothing. So these guys are legit. They actually make sure that the processor works before they send it out. Um, the one thing you need to do though is upgrade your BIOS. They cannot stress that enough when you contact them. Because that was the first issue I had, was because my BIOS was not accepting my processor because it was an older motherboard with a newer processor. Um, but yeah, these guys were amazing. Um, if you have any questions for them, give them a call and they will help you as much as they can. Um, Another thing that happened was I had to keep switching processors back and forth so I could download the updates, because then I have a backup computer, and obviously it wouldn't read the processor that was in it if like the BIOS update wasn't there, so I couldn't start it up into the BIOS with the upgraded processor. But during that process, I had actually bent a couple of the pins on the socket, and I had no idea what was going on because all my fans were spinning and nothing was popping up. No BIOS post screen, no nothing. Like I said, they were really good about it and they helped me through with it. I called him up and I asked what it could be, and he instantly knew that it was a bent pin. I sent him a picture of it, and he pointed out where the pins were, and I took a little pin, safety pin, X-Acto knife. I honestly used an X-Acto knife to do it, and I very carefully bent the pins back, and now the computer is running great, and I have no complaints. These guys were very helpful, and if you guys are looking for cheap processors that are used and are guaranteed to work, these guys are the perfect place to go to, because if you have any issues, they will help you out. They go above and beyond with helping. So they're not even sponsoring me. I'm just putting that out there because Asus could not help me and these guys could. So there it is, guys.